The joy of the success of Bharat Mobility Global Expo 2024, a 3-day event showcasing for the very first time in the history of India the entire mobility ecosystem at one platform in one exposition with the whole of the nation approach, all industry segments on one page, and with the Honorable Prime Minister addressing us and captains of this sector yesterday, I think is a twin cause for celebration that we wanted to share with all of our friends from the media. Bharat Mobility Global Expo 2024 with a sub-theme very appropriate in the context of India, New India of today, beyond boundaries, co-creating future automotive value chains, has been a phenomenal success, with the last figures of exhibitors being at about 1,000 plus exhibitors, something never heard of before. 740 friends from the media also registered to come and cover it, both from national, regional and international media. Until 2 hours ago, the visitors who had visited this exhibition totaled 1,28,000 registered visitors. There will be easily a 20-30% delta of people who did not actually take the pain of registering. Registered 1,28,000 visitors 2 hours ago. उसके बाद भी 2 घंटे में लोग आए होंगे. And most importantly, for those from the business reporting ecosystem, this included 34,000 business visitors. Friends, this was an exhibition which covered all of this massive Bharat Mandapam, with the convention center being used for symposiums, conferences, dialogue, B2B meetings. But the interesting point to note is that 11 lakh square feet fell short of the demand, and we had to create hangars for some of these sectors that were on display to provide additional space, and a number of large vehicles companies were requested to display in the open. Fortunately, they are vehicles which can withstand rain. Otherwise, in the last 3 days, with the kind of rain we have seen, they would have probably sued me for damages. But we had created the Bharat Mandapam facilities with the very high ceilings, keeping in mind heavy construction equipment, tall cranes, all of that. But the space fell short and we had to request them to move out. One of the most successful exhibitions that India has ever created or seen, with the support of every ministry in the government of India. The whole of the government was witness here. Even in yesterday's program, you saw 5 ministers along with Prime Minister Modi. And the Ministry of External Affairs, the Ministry of New and Renewable Energy, the Ministry of Mines, could not be accommodated in some form or the other in the various presentations. They all wanted to be a part also. The petroleum companies wanted to showcase the new fuels, the ethanol blended fuels, all of that in a much bigger measure, but we again ran out of space. Bicycle industry, we could not accommodate, but our missions wanted to showcase the countries which are our export destinations, what role our missions are playing. So you realize the whole concept of showcasing India is now undergoing a massive change. And Housing and Urban Affairs Ministry, Heavy Industries, Power, Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises, New and Renewable Energy, Road Transport and Highways, Mines, Petroleum and Natural Gas, External Affairs, and whoever made this presentation is from Commerce and Industry, तो हमारी दोनों मिनिस्ट्री का तो नाम ही गायब कर दिया. थोड़ा बहुत हमारा भी रोल था. I'm only trying to share with you that it was truly a whole of the government showcasing the whole of the business to boost the morale of the whole of the country. That was this exhibition in brief. Historically, we've had many exhibitions of the mobility sector, but each association would have their own. So we requested CII to play the role of the master curator. We requested Mr. Chandrajit Banerjee, Secretary General is here. We requested EPC, Engineering Export Promotion Council, Mr. Arun Gorodia, to also play the role of a catalyst. And I'm delighted to share with you that under their leadership, we had all associations of the mobility sector. SIAM representing automobile manufacturers, ACMA representing component manufacturers, IESA representing energy storage, ICEMA representing construction equipment manufacturers, ATMA representing tire manufacturers, Material Recycling Association of India, who look at circularity and sustainability, NASSCOM. When the first idea was floated, NASSCOM said, what are we going to do then? Finally, I have half a mind to read out the message which I have received from NASSCOM, thanking the government for having brought them into this fold, because they suddenly realized that they are also contributing in a big measure to the automobile sector, and they see the potential of the NASSCOM members, software and technology companies, to contribute up to $150 billion to the mobility sector alone. Of course, I'd like to place on record my grateful thanks to ITPO, who, and we have Rajat Agarwal, our Managing Director of ITPO, who went out of the way to make this a grand success. I don't know how many nights he has not slept, and also appreciate the efforts of Invest India, who helped also get the thrust on investments, while of course the Ministry of Commerce and Industry, led by our Commerce Secretary, Mr. Sunil Barthwal. The project was led by Mr. Amardeep Bhatia, Additional Secretary, whilst he is busy with Oman FTA. But anybody working in commerce, industry, or any of my ministries by now knows that he has to work 2 shifts. It's a twin job. So he does half time, or rather 1 time, his FTA negotiations, half time this exhibition, and half time all the other jobs that he has in commerce. I'd like to place on record Vipul Bansal, who's done some fantastic work on the ground. Another person, I don't know how many nights he has slept, not slept. थोड़ा सीरियस है but उतना ही sincere है. But his sincerity was palpable with the amount of day and night effort to bring together all these associations is not easy, by the way. It's like it's not easy to get all the media together on one page. But did wonderful work. The India Brand Equity Foundation, IBEF, you are adding it. Krishna Kumar also supported it through brand building. And I think we have now created a brand which will last us for decades in the future. Every year, Bharat Expo is going to be every year now. Sound band kar do na. Every year, Bharat Expo is going to be an institution. And we are all going to work together to make this an annual event which will help demonstrate the India story to the people of India. I'm happy to share with you that we had people coming from all across India. The exhibitors invited all the stakeholders to come and visit. We had people coming from nearly 10 districts in and around Delhi who visited in a large number, particularly students from engineering colleges. And in the Prime Minister's function yesterday, we had about 400 women who work in this sector, either as drivers or as machine operators, running lines in auto component or automobile factories, and demonstrating greater female participation in the auto sector and the Nari Shakti, which is more and more becoming the centerpiece of women-led development in the country. During the program, we had one very unique feature, which is rarely seen in an exhibition. Exhibitors were sending teams out to see the rest of the exhibition, because many of them did not know that our auto sector or mobility sector players do so many different activities. So let's say an automobile company suddenly realized that I didn't know the steel companies are already making these grades of steel. They didn't realize that auto components in India are available which can replace imports. So we found that exhibitors are sending teams to visit the whole exhibition. That's a unique feature, and I think this will significantly expand business opportunities within the sector going forward. Another very interesting aspect, which if you saw the exhibition you would have seen, are the startups. We had a number of startups. The Honorable Prime Minister personally met 10 of them yesterday. Personally talked to 10 startups, understood their ideas, innovative solutions. But across the exhibition, we had over 100 startups in different areas who presented their ideas. A lot of MOU discussions have been initiated for new partnerships. Investments have been initiated also with the state governments who were our partner states. A number of product launches happened during the exhibition, and I can say with confidence that the 20 plus conferences that were held, the 200 plus speakers from government and the private sector and think tanks who came and spoke at these conferences, the 20 plus international speakers who flew down to share their experiences and see the India growth story is going to take us to the next level. But friends, this is only the beginning. This conference was put together only in 2 months, start to finish. A conference of this scale anywhere in the world would take at least 1.5 years to plan and execute. This entire exercise happened in 2 months, and I compliment the leadership sitting here and the countless others who are not on in this room at the moment for all the fantastic work that they've done. Uh, Yesterday, the Honorable Prime Minister truly energized this sector, turbocharged us with some remarkable thoughts that he shared with us. He spoke about the increasing potential for tire industry to support our rubber farmers and reduce our dependency on imports. He spoke extensively about solar power, which he hopes to take to 25 crore homes in India, rooftop solar. The first phase of 1 crore has been announced in the union budget day before yesterday, which will not only help save electricity bills, get free electricity to the people, but he wants to connect that with a battery and the vehicle charging. Because as we envisage, India will be an electric vehicle, electric mobility country with an exponential growth of electric mobility in the months and years to come. He spoke about encouraging research and innovation in mobility, for which government has also put forward significant capital, again in the budget. He did talk about supporting each other with domestic manufacturing being given preeminence to reduce our dependence on imports and become a part of global value chains. He spoke about batteries extensively and the huge potential that batteries hold for India. He focused on green hydrogen and ethanol, two fuels which will be game changers for India. He gave a very powerful message for the drivers, and there are crores of drivers in India. He gave a very powerful message to announce the building of 1,000 special facilities along national highways. And this is only phase 1, mind you. There will be more progress going forward, which will have facilities like food, clean drinking water, toilets, resting place, etc. And finally, he spoke about technical educational institutes collaborating with Indian industrial ITIs and IITs and triple ITs collaborating with the mobility sector to address the need for technical skilled manpower and also to train drivers and vehicle operators going forward. And incidentally, he also stressed upon the importance of vehicle scrappage policy, which we hope in the days to come will reduce the emission spewing vehicles, and state, center and the auto companies will work together in partnership to make the vehicle scrappage policy a success. Finally, friends, yesterday evening at 8:30, we had a working dinner with about 150 CEOs and senior leadership of this sector. Mr. Mahendranath Pandey and I spent about 3.5 hours until they got tired and I had to wind up. And we had some really engaging discussions on the future of mobility, on our plans to prepare India for a green future, sustainable future, and an inclusive future. Because as the Honorable Prime Minister said, every single project, every single infrastructure that India develops, every effort to improve the logistics ecosystem will all ultimately only provide increasing opportunities to the mobility sector. To my mind, this is a milestone event in the industry of the mobility sector, and this will be a turning point, a threshold from which the sky is the limit, or in today's context, I don't know whether the moon, the sun, or where the limit ends. Thank you very much. You want to add anything? You want to add anything, CB? Before you take questions, you want to add something?
Honorable Minister, just wanted to congratulate you. In India, we have seen exhibitions